Welcome travel lovers, welcome vacation cravers, welcome happy seekers, welcome home to HappiTravel. My name is Mike Darling, I'm the co-founder of the company, and I'm joined by Montana Lowden, who's our Chief Happiness Officer, as well as the host of the podcast Mind, Body, and Soul. So welcome everybody to the HappiTravel podcast.
Welcome everyone. So what is this all about? What is HappiTravel? Do you want me to tell everyone or do you want to tell them?
I'll tell them. Or do you want to tell them?
You go for it.
Kind of a big secret. All right. Well, what's it all about? HappiTravel, it is the world's premier wholesale travel platform. So what does that mean? Wholesale travel sounds pretty good, right? Well, it's real simple. You can go to HappiTravel.com, and that's, by the way, happy with an I, not a Y, so HAPPI travel.com, and you can literally enroll for free. You get access to wholesale travel right on the platform.
Very exciting.
Any kind of travel you want. So what are we talking about? We're talking about hotels. We're talking about resorts and condos. We're talking about vacation rentals. We're talking about cruises. We're talking about, you name it, trips. We're talking about flights.
What more could you want?
Well, maybe cars, transfers, other types of activities, tours. Basically anything you can imagine is on the platform. You know, it really works just like any other online booking engine that all these mainstream engines that everybody knows about, right? Expedia and Priceline and Booking.com and Trivago and all these things. But people don't realize that all these websites are really owned by Expedia and Priceline. And so the game is rigged. I mean, if you're gonna go book travel, you're paying wholesale right now in the market, unless you're on the HappiTravel platform. Now, the coolest part is it's completely free to join. So,
yay!
Would you join something for free if you could save a bunch of money?
Yes.
I mean, there's literally no reason not to do it. So obviously you're going to do it. There is an optional upgrade. It's $298 a year. And what we find is the vast majority of our customers save way more than that the very first time they're going to book something on the platform. So as we always say, I mean, it literally costs people more not to be a customer. Whether it's a free customer or an upgraded customer, you choose whatever's going to save you the most money, you go ahead and do it. So that's what the platform looks like. And you know what? One of the things we love to say when we go talk to people is we always ask them, if you had all the time and all the money in the entire world, what would you do more of?
What would you do more of?
You know what like 99 out of 100 people say?
Travel.
They say travel. And why do they say travel? Because you know, we don't have to convince people they want to take vacation, right? Nobody has to sell you on taking an awesome trip or crushing your bucket list or going to the beach or doing whatever. And that's because travel really does make people happy. And so that's why we have something that we refer to as HappiScience. And that's kind of your lane. So why don't you tell them a little bit about HappiScience?
Okay, so what is HappiScience? Okay, so, you know, it's elevated happiness. It's social connections and relationships. It's enhanced creativity and inspiration. There's articles based on heart health with this, right? So this is really a real thing. You know, there's, like I said, there's many science-based articles about this. So, for example, like you're saying, you know, elevated happiness. Who doesn't get excited to go on a trip? Who isn't excited and have pure joy while you're on the trip?
In fact, what's the last big trip that you went on that really got you like jacked up? It really got you excited?
Well, it was our New York trip.
New York.
However many months ago we went on that.
What a great town, right? New York. It's the Big Apple. Right. You gotta have some fun.
Well, and so it was also the build up for that trip, for how long, the excitement, because we were going to visit people, the things we were going to see. And for me personally, I had lived there for a long time. So to take you and go join in on this exciting, expedition travel, the things we saw, and then...
You know what's so funny about that is... How long were we on that trip? How long a trip was it?
It wasn't a crazy long trip.
Was it like maybe a week, 5-7 days, something like that?
Yeah, and what did we accomplish in that amount of time?
And think about the joy that it brought us from the time we booked it until the time we went.
No, and we joked, right? So when we first met, and we book a trip, I would be excited months prior, and he'd be like, what? Why are you so excited? Well, it's the buildup, because you're looking forward and you can visually imagine what this trip is going to be like.
So you're literally going through your daily life, and one day you're going through your daily life and you feel a certain way, and then you book this trip, and the next day, nothing's changed in your life except for you got this trip booked.
Right.
And you're like finding joy in moments throughout your day because you booked a trip.
Because you're looking forward to that.
Right.
You're looking forward to that.
And then the trip, it was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we had a blast. It was a fun trip. But now thinking about all the time since the trip and all the memories that we already look back on just on that one trip, much as everything else that you've ever done in your life to go travel.
Yep.
It just it's almost like it's better than the actual trip itself. As fun as it was, like the memories themselves and the joy that it brings us on a daily basis it's awesome.
Well, and if you think about it, it's like the before, the middle, and the end. So it's like we still think about that. We still reference that. So with social connections and relationships, so just as an example for me personally, having lived there, it was reconnecting with the people that I had created connections and relationships with years ago that I still maintain, but we got to go reignite those relationships and see the people that I knew and that you could meet. And so there's that part of it. And then the creativity and inspiration, it's like prepping for these things and getting your brain cells flowing.
Totally.
and just that creative aspect of it. And then the things you go visit, like the museums and the different things we did, again, we will never forget those experiences together. So
HappiScience is a real thing.
Very much so.
In fact, you mentioned all these studies. I mean, there's hundreds.
There's hundreds of studies.
Right? In fact, if you haven't seen it, you can go onto the HappiTravel website. Again, HappiTravel.com. At the very top, you'll see HappiScience. There's a link right there. And we list a bunch of these studies that you can go and read. And some of them are articles. Some of them are actually full-blown studies.
But they're fascinating. They really are fascinating.
They are.
And it just goes to show you again how real this is and how much in our lives we need happiness and joy.
I mean, stress and anxiety is like rampant.
And who doesn't deal with that on a regular basis?
It's crazy. Yeah. Everybody, all of us do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
everybody.
We've like as a society just decided that, okay, this is like the norm, that that's just normal. You're going to be stressed out a lot. You're going to have all these things in your life. And okay, well, that's maybe another conversation about that.
Yeah.
But this is like a prescription.
Absolutely.
For that.
And it helps to balance that
that's
in
right.
your life.
So
and that's very important.
So if you were thinking about taking that vacation, whatever that vacation may be, you should do it. Right? Yeah. And if what was holding you back was money, well, you've got a wholesale travel platform.
Here's the answer right here.
Sitting here waiting for you. So pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Excellent.
Well, so how is all of this going to work? This podcast, what are we going to do? What's it going to be about? What are we, how do we do this thing? Why should you tune in? Why should you share this with other people? Why is this going to be fun? Well, hopefully, first of all, you'll come to listen to us babble for a few minutes once a week.
Yeah.
Because we like to have fun. I mean, that's what this comes down to. We love to travel, but we love to share that with people. And you just said it. I mean, to me, having traveled all over the world, the places you go are phenomenal, but it is the people you meet that really just makes it so meaningful. And so, the same, two different people could go to the same place and have a totally different experience based on who you meet, who you engage with, all of that sort of thing. And it does change you, right?
Absolutely.
Even when you come back home, the way you relate to the people back home, you have like a different view. You're looking through different glasses.
Well, and I always think that like in life, one of the greatest gifts is meeting people because they bring so much to your world and your life, and you learn from the different people, the cultures, everything. And I think that's it's such a wonderful gift.
Yeah. If you're frustrated with the negativity that's in the world, there's no shortage of that. Everybody knows, right? But an antidote to that is to just get out there, go have some fun, and hang out with people, meet new people, experience the world. If you can get further away, experience new cultures. And if you can't get further away, that's fine. Just you can take staycations just to get out of your own head for a weekend.
I don't care if you're going an hour away from where you reside. You will incorporate people and things, and it'll change your world.
And that's HappiScience at work. And so, it's kind of a funny thing because when we started the company a few years ago, I'll be honest, the concept of happiness, we kind of all know, traveling makes you happy. That's fun. And so we kind of thought, well, that'd be a good brand, right? And we kind of started that way from a branding standpoint. But we quickly found out that, this is so much more than a brand. This is real. These are real tracked studies, real things, real phenomenons that, again, it kind of, I think there's a resistance to the idea that, oh yeah, prescription to take a vacation. How is that any different from half the crap that we get prescribed by doctors or we get told to do by this wellness person or that person?
Exactly.
it feels right. You know that it makes you happy, makes you feel good. And so, if you wait your whole life until you've got the time and the money, you're going to be disappointed.
Well, yeah, and but the science too. It's like the elevated cortisol levels in your brain when you're stressed out.
Yeah.
Let's lower those. And they're again back to the articles. There is so many things that talk about reducing those stress levels, and we all need to reduce those stress levels. So. Yep. And travel, like I said, you can go anywhere, and you will, joy, happiness. Yep. So this is so worth it.
Well, and I think that, it's easy for us all to make the mistake that we'll have plenty of time to do it later. As soon as I accomplish this, then I'm going to give myself permission to travel. As soon as I make this much money, then we're going to be able to go. Whatever as soon as I can, get this time or get this thing. I was literally sitting on an airplane 2 days ago, flying across country, and there was a older Russian guy who was right behind me. I don't know what his deal was, but I overheard part of the conversation. Really nice guy. I was talking to everybody around him and everything, and he was not in good health. He was sitting there. Yeah. He was okay, but I mean, he was definitely not in good health, and he was making that exact point.
Yeah.
He was saying, you go through your whole life, you get to this thing, and yeah, sure, you'll have more time, and you may have accumulated some money, but if you don't have the health, it won't matter.
Right.
And he was saying that if there's someplace you want to go, you should go there now. You should go.
Yeah, life is short. We cannot take it for granted ever, because I think all of us in the last few years have seen, tragedies and people's lives that have unfortunately ended. And so let's not wait. Let's do this now. Let's enjoy life now. Live each day to the fullest. Truly.
Absolutely. So this podcast, how's it going to work? Well, our intention, we're going to have an episode, we're going to do this weekly. So we'll put these out on Saturdays. We'll have each episode will come out each Saturday. Obviously we may change that. We'll see how things go, but that's kind of the intent right now. And we will be talking about all kinds of topics, kind of like this first version. This is really kind of a rambling introduction. But we'll be talking about travel. We'll be talking about, our cat coming up onto the thing while we're talking about travel. We'll be talking about travel from the beaches of the world. We'll be traveling sometimes while we do this, right?
Yes.
We'll have guests come on. We'll do a lot of interviews with different people. Speaking of which, if you want to be a guest, if you want to talk to us about travel or HappiScience or any of these concepts, let us know. Reach out. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to bring you on. Or if you've got someone who you think would be perfect to come on to this as a guest,
let us know as well.
Let us know. We'd love to talk to them as well, and we're bringing them on as well. And so the other thing I'll mention is, this is definitely not going to be a weekly sales pitch. That's not what we do here, okay? The platform speaks for itself. So we definitely encourage you, if you haven't looked at it, again, it's free to join. You need to check it out. But really what we've got here is a culture. And it's a really fun, cool culture of people that goes beyond just saving money. I mean, This is about, kind of family. This is about
friends, family, enjoyment, laughter.
Yeah, like-minded people coming together and not coming together, but just traveling with a certain spirit and all of that. And so we're open, we're welcoming to everybody. There's no rules here as far as, who's allowed or what we do and all of that. So it's wide open. And every Wednesday, I should mention also, there is a weekly live Zoom that happens on Facebook on the HappiTravel Facebook page. So you can just search for HappiTravel, HAPPI Travel on Facebook. You'll find it. It's at facebook.com/HappiTravel. And every Wednesday at noon Eastern, the company goes live and there's some sort of new deal that's being shown or something awesome that's being displayed. And guys, again, you don't have to wait for that. You can go see for yourself. Even as a free member, it's going to show you the rates. It's absolutely crazy. But just remember, it's not simply about saving money. You'll be able to do that. This is kind of about like freedom, right? I mean, this is about getting to go do the things that you've always wanted to do.
And then we talk about it.
That's right.
And we get excited.
And then we talk about it. So that's going to be it for this week. But we hope you'll join us next week. Until then, Micah Montana signing off.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.